Stand firm, stand tall, stand bold. When I was going to high school, a lot of people thought I was a surfer because I've got blonde hair and maybe like talk like it a little bit, I guess. But I tell you what, I came from New Jersey to California when I was in the 6th grade. It was a pretty rough go, but one of the predominant things that stood out to me when I first came to California was the difference of what it looked like. I mean, there were mountains. I mean, huge mountains. And then there were just palm trees everywhere. My dad moved us to Redlands, California on the east side at the end of Palm in that area there. And it was kind of rough trying to fit in and find my spot, but you know, eventually I did, made some friends, and I got connected at the church and started going to the youth group and, you know, learning about the things of God. And there was like a characteristic and a mark within the people in the youth group and the people in the church, and it was this love. It was amazing. And today, as I am here in Redlands, just contemplating and looking at life and things, you know, and I'm looking at these palm trees almost as if I did when I first came here to California, standing and amazed of how beautiful this area is. And sometimes we take it for granted of the things that we have, but you know, these different kinds of palm trees, like these ones that stand on Nevada Street right behind me in San Bernardino Avenue, they're these tall, you know, 60-foot, 100-foot Mexican fan palms that line the street, and they're amazing. But not everybody thinks palm trees are amazing, and there's all different kinds. You know, we see and there's only one palm tree that's native to California. All the other ones have been brought in. So the only one is the California fan palm tree that you see on Cajon Street. They're larger at the base. The ones behind me, the Mexican fan palms, are a little more slender, taller. The ones that I'm really struck by are the Canary Island palm trees that you see in, you know, what you might consider some richer areas, or, you know, some people back in the day would put 2 Canary Island palms right at their driveway. And, you know, there's some places in town where there's 2 canary palms and then, you know, something different around it where there used to be the driveway of the home or the entry place of the property. And palm trees and mountains are no doubt a characteristic and a trait of California. When you see palm trees, you know you're in California. There's some streets that you go down in Redlands and there's no palm trees. Like, you could be anywhere, but once you see the palm trees, you know this is California. One of those marks in the church is love. You know, and when people step into the church and when people step into youth group or they join a group of believers, one of the things that should jump out at them and stand out is love. And Jesus talked about this in John chapter 13. I'll read you the verse here. Jesus said in John 13:35, "If you love one another, everyone will know you are my disciples." The greatest characteristic that pops out and stands out is love. So I'm so glad that we have a church family that is loving and cares about people, and what a blessing that is. Don't neglect the church. Don't neglect, you know, coming together as you grow in your years. A lot of times we see people get down on the church, and sure, you know, you go through church growth. You go through growth. You got to grow. There's a lot of palm trees that people would consider a weed. Like, when they first grow, they're worth nothing. They They're all over the ground over here, out here in the field. You could pick up a dozen of them and plant them. But you're gonna have to wait 50 years for them to be something. And people are not that patient, so they're not very valuable when they're just sitting there on the ground, or they're just, little weeds. They grow in the gutters, and they could cause some problems. But when they're lined up, when they're together, when they're mature, they become iconic. It becomes appreciated. It becomes, something incredible to look at. And so the palm trees of California stand out to us. They're pretty amazing. We love them. We put them on our t-shirts. We put them on stickers. In and out, it's got the palm trees crossed of this is the spot you want to come. And I'll tell you what, love is the mark of disciples of Jesus. And we should grow in our Bible knowledge for sure. We should grow in our sanctification, but the greatest mark is love. And it's God's love, which is different from the world. The world will say, love at all cost, and in meaning accepting people's lifestyles or accepting people's sin. But God's love, you don't have to accept people's sins to hang out with them or to talk with them. You can still talk to them and you can still hang out with them. It doesn't mean you're endorsing their sin. But you got to be wise. And I pray that you are filled to the brink of more and more love, which means that you are more patient, that you are more kind, that you become selfless, that you become unoffendable, and that you study and look at Jesus to see what this love does and to see how it'll affect your life. And wherever you go in town, people will be able to see the love of God in you. How cool is that? God bless you, Resonators. I hope the Lord is blessing you in this time and that you are seeking to grow in the ways of God and reading your Bible, and we'll see you next time.